What's up, guys? It's Tower Motor Ties, and today I have a S5 Coupe. They do come in three different versions. They have the Coupe, the Sportback, and the convertible, the Cabriolet. But this is the Coupe. I still think this is one of the sexiest coupes out there right now. Just look at it. It looks mean. Audi sure does do a good job with their designs. The nice lines on the hood, it just looks crazy. Especially for what BMW has just did with the 4 Series. I think is hideous. Audi did that big grill right, especially with this optional black optics package. It just looks crazy. But I'm gonna show you a little bit about it and just check it out. But before we get started, please support the channel, like, subscribe, and comment down below. As I was saying, this thing is just beautiful. It does have the optional black optics package that blacks out the mirrors, the grille, as well as all the chrome accents on the car. This one also has the optional carbon fiber package, so the mirrors are actually carbon on this one, and it also has a rear carbon spoiler. The black optics package does also give you these big 20-inch wheels that just look sick. And it is wrapped with two 65s completely around. It does have a quattro all-wheel drive system, which is a rear bias quattro system, which is excellent. One thing this car does not have, this is a 67 MSRP car. This car does not have the red brake calipers, but it still has like a red S Sport logo there, which is good enough for me. The S Sport package gives you adaptive suspension. It just has a regular sports suspension, which you get a sports car, that's all you really need, to be honest. Another cool feature that this has, being the Prestige package, is these animation LED headlights with laser. So if I unlock the doors, they do this animated dance, which is just awesome. I just love that Audi does this. You also can option blacked out Audi rings and logos, black badges, but on the black it just accents very nicely against the black grille instead of being completely blacked out. If we swing around to the side, you'll see that the car is equipped with the carbon mirrors, so that's the carbon package I was telling you about. Come around to the back side. It does have the carbon spoiler here and that kick to open feature here, giving you a large trunk. It isn't powered down like the Sportback. You have to manually put it down. Presented to you by Audi Charlotte here in Matthews, North Carolina. Also is equipped with the Sport Resonator Delete. It sounds pretty good. We'll have to get a clip of that. But the back end of this thing just looks so mean. Look at that. Look at that booty. That thing is just pretty nice, right? This is the Coupe, so it's not as practical as it would be in the Sportback. I mean, it has decent headroom for a coupe, but I wouldn't put anybody big in there. I mean, if you got small kids there, it will work. It actually does have spots for your car seat, but it's not super easy to get in and out. Has some climate control there as well on the Prestige. It does have some buttons here that allow you to move the seat forward and back at a faster pace than pressing the buttons down here. Also, it has massage seats This is a leather and Alcantara seats. You can upgrade this to a fine Napa leather seat which you can option in gray, black, or the magma red. In the Prestige, you also get standard your Bang & Olufsen sound system. You also get navigation, heads-up display, and color ambient lighting for the interior. And just like the regular Sportback, you get a regular sunroof, no panoramic roof, but it is pretty big. And obviously on the convertible, the whole roof is, I guess, the sunroof essentially. But I love the interior design. I wish they would start to integrate the screen like they do in like the A6 and Q7 and Q8s and those models. But with the bigger screen that got upgraded in 2020, it works for me. It also has wireless CarPlay. Does not have wireless Android Auto, but it does have Android Auto if you plug it in. Inside of the glove box, you'll also get a wireless charger. Get an extra USB here, and then there's another USB located right there. I love the details. You see the red trimming that you get on the S5 around the start button. Just makes it look like you're starting up a jet. Pretty dope. And then if you look here, Audi does have the virtual cockpit. So in the virtual cockpit here, you actually can go through your different drive modes, or I mean vehicle information as well. So you can scroll through using this here, go through all your different drive modes. Then you'll have the next page where you have your radio, go between like AM, FM, and XM, your phone, and then your nav. And if you hit this view button, you can always make it full screen, which is pretty cool. But if we go into the menu here and actually go to settings, display, you'll also see you have different virtual cockpit settings. So you have this dynamic mode, which completely changes it up. So everything kind of like builds out. Then you have the sport, which is a typical one that you're used to in the older generations. It actually revs up and goes green, yellow, red, and flashes that red as you're about to shift, which is also cool. But the dynamic one is the one that comes standard on the car that you'll see when you first purchase it. As you'll see, the climate control is still the same as it's been. Very user-friendly, so I don't really think they should change this much. It is nice to have physical buttons. It's very simple. Each of these buttons have hidden menus behind it, so as soon as you put your finger on it, it's touch sensitive. So if I pull this up, you'll see that different options come up. So it's a very intuitive system. You don't get ventilated seats unless you get the optional warm weather package, which gives you completely different seats. You don't even get the diamond stitch. It kind of sucks. Audi need to figure out a way to incorporate the Napa leather and the massage and the ventilated seats, especially when you're spending this kind of money. But as you see in the Prestige, you also get this parking button. It's the P with a steering wheel. So if you click that, the car can actually park itself. It helps you maneuver into parallel park spots or perpendicular parking spots, as well as help you get out of parallel parking spots by moving the car into a direction that makes it easy for you to exit. But Audi always did good with their maps. Even though now you have CarPlay, the map is still really good. Right now it's powered by Google. So you'll have a satellite view here. The screen is very intuitive, super easy to use. Everything is quick right here and access to you. So you have your phone, your radio, your media, which is the music on your phone, your contacts, and your nav. And if on the home screen, there's like a main page where you have quick access to everything. So like your music, your phone, and your radio. Your nav, And then here is kind of like the same thing, your radio, media, your phone, your nav. It kind of repeats the same thing, so it makes it super easy for you to use. And it's nice big buttons for you to touch while you're driving. You can customize it by clicking and holding and dragging and moving around, just like in your iPhone. So it's a very intuitive screen to use. And you can also create multiple profiles, store your garage door opener there, and that'll be your profiles button. And the car is also equipped with Wi-Fi, So it's a very good car. We're just gonna now take it for a spin, see how it goes. All right, guys, we're gonna take this thing for a spin. Let's see how it drives. I did forget my GoPro, so I'm gonna have to sit my phone down here and hold it. But I just want to give you guys my opinion and expression on this car. See how it still performs and handles compared to the competitors of what I've driven, the BMW as well as the Mercedes. But a cool accent that I noticed, that when you shut the door here, it actually hands you the seatbelt. Like, that's quality, and the seatbelt holder is actually aluminum, so it's nice quality metal. It only does that in the convertible and the coupe. The convertible is a little bit different, but it's great. It doesn't do that for you in the Sportback. All right, let's take this thing for a spin. I'm gonna leave it in dynamic, which is Audi's most sportiest mode. You have comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual, which is a custom mode. So we're gonna also see how the exhaust sounds, because it does have adaptive exhaust that opens and closes once you're put into comfort versus dynamic. Like I said, dynamic is the sportiest mode. I'm actually gonna switch it over to manual by switching it over to the right. Ooh, got a little pop, pop, pop. Sounds good. Has a really good tone to it. Downshift. Now we're coming up on a turn here. Oh, it just hugs. I mean, I didn't take it very fast, but it just hugged that turn like it was nothing. It just sat steady and felt very balanced. It did not have any body sway or anything. It is a heavy car, so, but Audi has the suspension tuned very well for the Quattro system. Let's switch it back and let the car do its own shifting. All right, we're going out. Man, I love it. I love it. It's not the most characteristic. I do think the Mercedes and the BMW sound a little bit more, I would say, dramatic. But for daily living, and that's what the S is really meant for, is for like a daily driven sport car. Audi really wants you to go RS, to go all out. But for a daily sport car, this thing is perfect. Who knows? I might have to get me one, but I'll probably get me a Sportback. But stay tuned. Maybe I will. You'll see. But I have a heads-up display right here, and I can see, it actually tells you if you're following too close to a car. It tells you your navigation. It also shows the speed limit for the road as well as your speed, your current speed. And as long as you get the Premium Plus package, which is the mid-trim, so Audi's packages goes Premium, Premium Plus, and then Prestige. As long as you get Premium Plus, you actually get adaptive cruise control with traffic jam assist. So what happens there is the car paces with the car in front of it. It uses radar sensors to keep a set distance. It also uses a camera located right behind the mirror facing out into the road to keep you lane centered in the road. And it can tell whether you're in traffic jam or just on the highway. Once you get in traffic jam, the car actually paces between, keeps you lane centered using steering inputs. Essentially like driving itself in traffic. And it just goes stop and go. You don't even have to think about anything. It's a really good system. It's been out a long time on the A8. I think it was on the 2008 A8. Like, it's been out a while, and it works really good. Back then, I remember it being a little buggy. I drove an old A8 and did it, and that system actually malfunctioned like last minute, and I had to slam on the brakes. So that was scary. But it works now. It sounds so good when you let off the throttle. So it's like, ooh, and as soon as you let off the throttle, you're pop, pop, pop. I'm not sure if it come across pretty clear in the video or not, but it sure does to my ears. Some other cool standard features, but which is coming more standard on a lot of the cars now, is auto high beams as well as auto wipers. So we are starting to get a little bit of rain here, but with the auto wipers, there's nothing to worry about because they'll automatically engage as soon as the rain starts to pick up. And it's speed sensing too, so it changes the intensity. It has so much low end torque. Like the torque, it just, one thing you'll notice about Audis is first gear is like and then as soon as it gets to the top of the RPM, you're like, oh, okay. And then it shifts and it just like hits like a whole nother level of boost and like pulls you even harder, which is crazy to feel more pull top end than you do low end. It's an incredible car. The quality, the fit and finish is superior. It's one thing Audi does good is the interior quality. So we're in traffic now. I'm actually gonna set the adaptive cruise control. I have the speed limit set at 40. The car is actually reading the lanes in the road. Here, I'll actually show you guys. So it's actually turning and keeping me centered on its own. I'm not touching the steering wheel at all. It's coming down to a stop. As you'll see here, it's reading that I'm in traffic. You actually don't have to keep your hands on the wheel when you're in traffic jam assist. When you're going over, I think, 20 miles per hour, the car will tell you need to put your hands back on the wheel or it's going to cut the system off. But for the most part, it just goes stop and go traffic. I just tap that if I'm sitting too long. Tap the cruise control forward. It re-engages. It's completely steering for me, keeping me lane centered. Oh, it actually is telling me to put my hands back on the wheel. So that was a really long time though, because I didn't have it on for a while. All right, guys, we're back at the dealership. I'm gonna just give you my impressions, my final impressions. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. The car was amazing. Huge fan. Clearly, I'm a huge fan of Audi. I think everybody should know this at this point. But it's still a great daily living sports car, performance car, and it's a very sexy looking coupe. Out of all the coupes out there that's in this class and price range, so as far as the Germans, it's the C43 and the BMW 440i. So as far as that class of car, this isn't the fastest, I would say, but it performs and handles well for daily living. And when you think about what you want to drive every single day, and you're in like a lease or a finance for 3 to 5, 6 years, you got to think about being comfortable too, because when you take those long road trips, you're going to want to be in something very comfortable. And this is the car for that, sitting in these nice, in this case, Alcantara seats, but you can get the fine Napa leather, which I would personally get. And no matter what seat you do, as long as it's not the warm weather seat, you actually get massage. So you can just turn on your massage and knead or roll on your back, and it's just amazing. Anyway, it's a great car. If you have any questions, please like, subscribe, and make sure you comment, because I'll answer the questions in the comments. So comment down below, and I'm here to help you guys out. Once again, this car is at Audi Charlotte. Thank you for tuning in.